Welcome back to the show. Last week we had Dr. Boyce Watkins, and this week, look, we got Mr. Julius Darrington. How are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed. How you guys doing? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to speak with you today.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, the way I start this show is I love to give people their flowers, so you're no different. I want you to sit back, relax, and take your flowers. Will you do that for me?
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
All right, so this is it. You know, I can't stun and act like I've known you for a long time. I haven't, but I have to say you've been so genuine and so welcoming from the first time I started talking with you. I know you have a lot of expertise in this music business game, and so we love having people on the show that can teach our audience something, and also people who can have a great talk with us. So thank you for just being you and spreading the love and working with some of the dopest artists that we're going to hear about today on the show. So just thank you so much, Julius.
No problem. It's an honor. Like I said, it's an honor to be a part of something that I feel like is very classy, is very, branded well, and you guys are just doing an amazing job, and it's, it feels good to be a part of it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So let me tell you something. I want to just start off with letting people understand a little bit about you. I know you're from Toledo, Ohio, and we'll get into that. But you're a record executive, and people hear that, it's like, wow, a record executive. So I kind of just want you to break that down a little bit and give us some details about what you actually do and your title and all that jazz.
Okay. I'm an all-around entrepreneur. Music gave me the wings I needed to further push my agenda in life to be a successful entrepreneur, right? Record executive, that's a very broad title. I was known as an A&R, you know what I'm saying? I got, like I said, keep it all the way real, I got my first major A&R position with R.Kelly, and that springboard everything for me in my career, as far as being known as someone who can get in the studio and help put projects together, as well as help roll out projects, come up with marketing plans, publicity plans, branding ideas for projects and artists, help artists connect with the right producers, songwriters, engineers, help artists get record deals or get meetings with record companies. It's such a broad thing, to be a record executive. You're someone who get things done. I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter, record executive. It's really no one title, but record executive kind of sums it all up. You know what I mean? Because I'm a person who thinks on this left side of his mind, his right side of his mind. I'm very creative, but I'm also a business person. So record executive is just a title that makes it make sense. You know what I mean? To where, I can get things done in the field of music business,
Yeah, you look like you can get things done. You kind of got that Rick Ross style going on.
Hustle,
hard.
Hey, I respect Rick Ross, and he's also a successful entrepreneur. He started off as a rapper. Now you don't see him dropping albums every 6 months no more. Now he's an executive. He's an entrepreneur, record executive now. You know what I'm saying? He's signing artists. He's developing his brand, his businesses, his passive income with his wing company and all that. So that's really the goal for anybody right now, I think, who's really trying to be successful in this business, entertainment, is to diversify and to elevate, and that's what I'm about. I'm about elevation and trying to put myself in a position to be totally free, creatively, financially, everything. So music business has been something that has been a part of me my whole life. My mom was a very known gospel singer, locally and kind of regionally. She worked with the Winans in the 80s. If I heard, people know about the Winans. So she was managed.
Do we know about the Winans? Excuse me, Lord. Excuse me, Lord. I don't know how to say.
My mom had a group called the Prodigals, and they was managed by Pop Winans back in the 80s, and they used to go on tour with the Winans, and then they started doing shows with commission gospel groups. My mom was a musical genius, you know what I'm saying? I was raised around music, raised in studios, raised on the road. And my mom started embarking on music business in the early 90s when I was like 11 years old, you know what I'm saying? So it's been a part of my life, you know, my whole life. So once I realized it was something marketable in Hollywood and entertainment, I didn't know that all the things I was taught growing up was marketable for me to actually have a career. You know what I'm saying? I thought that if I didn't blow up as a singer or, you know, a famous performer, that I didn't have a chance. But I didn't know that it was a huge market for people who know how to navigate. So that's what I'm blessed to be able to say I'm able to do.
Now you look like a solid dude. I mean, not
Absolutely.
fat, but just you look like you could be head security for Beyonce. Like
look, everybody think, you know what? It's funny. Every artist I've worked with, they bring me in on a creative level, but I always end up looking like the bodyguard.
Right.
And they say it all the time. When you're the artist, if he's a known artist or she's a known artist, and you work with those artists, everyone is security. You know what I'm saying? Because we going out and navigating, you got to watch their back. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in situations where I was security. You know what I mean? Then we go to the studio. Now I'm the executive. You know, so.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that, because I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't try to play football growing up or something like that.
Well, yeah, I played basketball, and I got a passion for boxing. You know what I mean? My grandfather was a trainer, and he was trying to get me to box. My mom was in the music, so I had the choice to make: either get hit or do music. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, right.
You know, I like to hit, but I didn't like getting hit. You know,
that's the point. Yeah, that's the point.
So I chose music, you know what I mean? I chose music, and I've been going ever since.
One of my uncles tried to clown me. I had like a few months there where I was interested in boxing and even went to a practice, but my uncle was like, I don't think you ought to do it. You look like you got a weak chin. And I was like, what you mean? I'm like, I got a weak chin, man.
Man, boxing is the toughest way to make a living. Anything UFC, boxing, I've been around guys who do that professionally. You have to be almost insane to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because not only are you fighting in your fight, your preparation every day is to fight.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you're not just working out and then all of a sudden you got to fight once every 6 months. No, your everyday preparation every day is fighting other people. You know, so no.
Now there are wars and battles that you have to fight in the music industry. So hearing that your mom, and I actually believe I heard of her group. I have to go back and listen to the music, knowing that she already kind of laid some ground, some footworks for you, trying to say footsteps for you.
Yeah, footsteps.
Did she encourage you to go into music business, or did she try to say, look, son, may want to go a different path? What was her advice?
Very encouraging. My mom didn't want me to do nothing but whatever I love to do. You know what I'm saying? She never looked at me as somebody who should do anything conventional. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't that kind of person. She always was like a big dreamer. You know what I'm saying? She's just like, you know, and she was heavy in church and stuff too. So she was always, teaching me about faith and having faith. And she never had, my mom passed too in 2009. That's why I'm talking like that. But she never had a limited vision for me or herself. She always wanted to take over, to do the biggest things possible. She used to write plays and songs, and she was a genius, you know what I mean? And with me, she was like my biggest cheerleader, you know what I mean? When she found out I got bit with that musical bug when I was like 8 or 9, I started singing and being proud to be in the choir in church. And my dad was, God bless him, he was more like in the streets, you know what I'm saying? My mom was in church, you know what I'm saying? So I had 2 different worlds I was a part of, that made me well-rounded to understanding life, you know what I mean? So my dad taught me a lot of stuff about, masculinity, and, my mom taught me a lot of stuff about music and God, so.
That sounds great. I mean, that sounds what it takes to make it in that business.
Yeah. Cause it's a balance, because I'm glad I didn't turn out to be no church boy. You know what I'm saying? But I got church boy in me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised in that. I'm glad I had the other side to help me be able to move, you know what I mean, and build with everyday people, not just religious people, you know what I mean? And it's been a beautiful balance, and I'm grateful for it.
Now, I have to be honest, I'm in the entertainment business. I work behind the scene, and, people do work hard to get what they, want and to reach their goals. But now I have to admit, there are some people where I feel like nepotism works for them, like their parents are in the business.
Right.
They got a cousin in the business, so it's just easier for them to get in. Do you feel like because your mother was in the business, the doors were easily open for you, or did you have to grind to get your way in?
No, because my mom was in gospel, and I didn't make it in. I got in what they call secular music. You know what I'm saying? Right. But my family's a musical family. I can't say no one opened up no door for me. You know what I'm saying? But everyone encouraged me. So that's all the door I ever need is some encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Growing up. So I can't say no one helped me. But every particular door I got into as far as actually being able to work in this industry didn't come from, my family members or anything. I went out there and got it myself,
Okay, well, that's excellent. I just had to ask that because a lot of times people don't know. They feel like certain people just pop up, but a lot of times they're connected or they've been working for a long time. And when you see them, you just think it happened overnight, but it really didn't.
It definitely happened overnight. But the advantage I had was I was in love with the business early, in love with, everything about it. So I knew all the players who are involved because I studied it. You know what I mean? So I could be walking through a mall and see a person and know that they work for Atlantic Records. You know what I'm saying? That's a cheat code because I was obsessed with it for so long. So that's the cheat code. It's just being obsessed, because no one's going to just hand you anything in life. You got to be obsessed and hungry enough to go out there and force the issue. So that's kind of like how I got in the business, just by being obsessed with everything about it, you know what I'm saying, and put myself in positions and taking advantage.
Now, I know you reached a certain age and then you felt like, okay, maybe, I don't know if it's that you thought you would get too old because there is a little bit of ageism in the music business, but you decided, hey, let me concentrate on some younger artists. I can kind of use my skills in a different way. Talk to us about that point in your life where you said, let me kind of do something a little different.
All right, that's cool. I'm glad you did your homework. I don't believe in ageism. With me myself, because I'm not a mortal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Marvel. Okay.
I'm not a mere mortal. Now I'm just playing, but when you are creative and you are driven to do whatever you God put in your life to do, and you are obsessive about it, and you are very good at it, there is no limitation. There is no age. There is nothing. You know what I'm saying? I could be the first 70-year-old person to come out with a hit single. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe. I mean, if that's what I wanted to do. Tina Turner is a prime example. Tina Turner, she broke all odds when she had her solo career run at 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. She was 50 when that Was Love Got to Do What It came out. And that was the biggest song in the world.
She's one of my favorite artists of all time.
Yeah, exactly. And she became one of the biggest entertainers in the world, with the biggest song in the world, when they said that she was too old, but she had a gift that was undeniable. So there's no superstition when it comes down to anything, It's just about people believing it, So back to the story. I sing, and write. That was the first thing that got me interested in this business, is the ability to write songs and sing and sing and sing. And in high school and junior high, that I was getting a lot of just respect, you know what I'm saying, for having that talent, and it made me feel good about myself. My self-esteem was sky high because I had something that a lot of people didn't have, and that's raw talent, and people, our family, to support me, So I pursued a solo career in music, and I looked a lot different. I didn't have a Rick Ross vibe back then, you know what I'm saying?
I like that though.
I had a full. Oh, appreciate it. I had a full head of hair. Had the waves. I'm about 100 pounds smaller. You know what I'm saying? I can send you some. I can send you some pictures. The six pack,
send me a
the
photo.
earrings.
I want to see it.
I promise. The 6-pack, the earrings. You know, so I was on that. You know, and I did my first project. My mom was so encouraging because I did it top to bottom from the administrative side by myself. You know, from the marketing side, the PR side, the branding. And this is back like 2004. You know what I'm saying? 2005. It wasn't a lot of people doing it back then. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They was just walking around with CDs with the marker on it at the gas station. You know what I'm saying? I had my songs online. I had my songs in all the stores in my city. I had posters everywhere. And my mom was very encouraging, like, and my family, my cousins, they were like, man, you put this together yourself? I'm like, yeah, But that love I got from the process of me putting together my first project made me feel like it was something special about not just the music, but the energy of putting it together. You know, so I was an executive and didn't know it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I didn't know it was something special about putting it together. I'm like, just do the research and put it together. You know, because my mom struggled with that. She struggled with understanding how to execute the business side. You know what I'm saying? As an independent person, her era was more, let's get a record deal, let's get signed, let's et cetera, et cetera. I was like, look, I got a job. I'm about to get my own CDs printed, my own posters. I'm about to get my own songs mixed and mastered. I'm gonna do my own photo shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, handle it yourself. Take out the middleman, right?
Take out the middleman. I'm gonna go to the radio station myself. You know, so that happened. I'm like 21 years old. I put on my own project, and you want to hear the story or? So, yeah. So in my early 20s, I'm pursuing, late teens, early 20s. I'm pursuing a career in the R&B career as an artist. You know, so I put out my first project. I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, I put out online. I hired a marketing company. The next thing you know, I had a song that was on the top of the charts in UK. Wow. So a company called BreakingArtists.uk. They only highlight independent artists. And the owner of that company contacted me and was like, hey, your song is going crazy here in London. Like everybody who's a part of my network loved this song. So he said, I'd like to buy 1,000 CDs from you and put it in our record stores, wholesale. I'm like 21 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? I call I'm like, look, they want to buy my records. So they sent me a check, send me the money overseas. And I went and got the stuff printed and sent it to them. And then they sold pictures on their website of my CDs all in the stores there in London.
Wow.
And then they had a chart. It was like top 5 songs. My song was like number 4. And Montel Jordan had a song back then that was like Under Mine.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. All I did was put my CD out. So that just gave me it gave me a confidence, you know what I'm saying? That even though that wasn't Billboard charts, it was a chart, you know what I mean? It was a city that was way in London and I'm in Ohio that was loving my music, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was like an ego stroke. I'm like, man, I can do this, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, so, that's incredible.
So it was a blessing. Then I got more motivated and started recording more music. I did another project, and I always worked jobs. Like I'm a firm believer. Not now, but back then I was always had a 9-to-5 job to fund myself. So I had got a job. That's funny you said security. I got a job as a security guard.
See, I knew it.
You know what I'm saying? As a security guard at the Hilton Hotel. I was 24 at the time. You know what I mean? I wasn't as big as I am now, but I still was 6'2". You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody's not gonna step up to you just
exactly.
I get that. Yeah, absolutely.
So they hired me at the Hilton Hotel, and I was still trying to figure out, man, I need to get my music out. So I'm gonna work here and go to the studio every weekend, just and pay my rent because I had a little studio apartment. So a big tour bus pulled up to the Hilton, and it was Tyrese. And back then the singer. Tyrese was hot back then, you know what I'm saying? So
is this Tyrese when he just got finished singing for, what was it, Coca-Cola or Pepsi, or was it Tyrese who was acting?
No, this Tyrese who was still doing music and acting. This Tyrese, Black Tie Tyrese. This is like 2006 Tyrese.
Okay.
2006, you know what I'm saying? He was still Tyrese. He was on tour. He was, you know, in Toledo, Ohio, you don't see people like that famous coming through there like that. That's a little hick town, you know? So he was there, and he came through with 2 guys, and they took him to his room. And I'm like, man, it's Tyrese. And the guy who was working with me didn't know who Tyrese is, the white guy. Like, who's that? I'm like, that's an R&B star, bro. Like,
duh.
You're like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, okay. So I went over to their floor trying to see what room he was in. I don't know why, just on some little kid stuff, you know. So the guy who walked Tyrese to his room came back down to the lobby. You know what I mean? And that was like his tour bus driver, his manager, or somebody. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know at the time. So I'm like, hey, I know you're here with Tyrese, man. You know, I sing and I write, and I got a CD that, you know, that I put out, you know, a record I did and put out. I would love to just freely just check it out. You know what I'm saying? And I said, anything you need here at the hotel, I got you. Like, I got the keys to the kitchen, everything. He was like, oh, for real?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I said, look, I can take you to, I said, if you want some food, I can take you to the kitchen. You get whatever you want. You know, and I'm not supposed to do that, but
right.
You know, I'm hustling. You know what I'm saying? So,
every day.
I'm hustling. So he was like, oh yeah, like, you know, let's see what you guys got. Took him back there, cheesecake, chocolate cake, little pastas already made. He started getting stuff. I said, I'm gonna go get my CD real quick. And I went and got my CD out the car and gave it to him. And I was like, he ain't gonna check it out. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Thanks for the food. I'm like, all right, thanks.
Right.
So next day they left, you know what I mean? It was all good. So a month later, and I get my numbers on the CD. A month later, I get a phone call from a California number. He was like, hey man, my name is Bruce Walker, man. You met me at the hotel and I work with Tyrese. He said, bro, we've been playing your CD the whole way back to LA.
Wow.
I'm like, what? He said, we've been playing your CD, bro. Everybody loved this, man. Like, who wrote these songs? Who did this stuff? I said, I did all this myself. And I said, my cousins, they produced and they helped me, you know, with the production and stuff. I wrote all the songs. And he was like, how old are you? I said, 23. He was like, do you have a manager? I was like, no. I said, just me. He said, man, I want to manage you, man. Like, and help you get a deal. You know what I mean? I'm like, he said, you need a deal. I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said, well, we're going back on tour. In a month. So let's just keep contact, you know. And I love that when we go back through to Columbus and stop through from Detroit to Columbus, I'm gonna stop through Toledo and meet with you. I'm like, all right, bet. So we kept in contact. I'm excited. I'm like, bro, I'm about to get signed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He connected me with his guy. His brother name was Bruce Walker. Bruce Walker worked as an executive at a company called Hidden Beach Records, right? So he was trying to sell me to, you know, hey, I can get you a deal over there. You know what I mean? So that was the whole sale. And that was his brother. His brother was the owner of the label, right? So they came back through Toledo on a tour bus, and they came through my hood. Mm-hmm. And all my homies from the hood saw this big tour bus pull up, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, who was that? I'm like, that's Tyrese tour bus. And they came out, he met my mom, Chris Walker met my mom and everything. They're like, yeah, your son is super talented. I'm gonna try to give him a deal, you know what I mean? So, you know, small town, the whole city finds out about this, you know what I mean? Like, Julius is about to get signed, right? So what I did was not the smart thing. I stopped recording. Like I stopped putting out new music. I start falling back and saying, I'm about to get signed. You feel me? Like, oh, I can't just be putting out music like that. You know what I mean? I'm about to get signed. So I'm trying to, you feel me? And we had a couple of meetings. He took me, met me, he introduced me. I forgot this guy's name. It's a major name. Benjamin Wright. Mm-hmm. Introduced me to a guy named Benjamin Wright. Benjamin Wright if you look him up, Benjamin Wright produced all the strings for every major artist since the early 70s. The Michael Jackson song. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't get the name, but I know that.
Yeah. You know, off the wall. Whatever.
Yes.
That sound is Benjamin Wright. You know what I mean? He produced all those strings, and if you look him up, his resume is insane. Everything almost in pop culture that have to do with a string orchestra is his string orchestra. You know, so he was a major player. He introduced me to him. He started navigating me through LA as far as different executives, trying to give me a deal, right? Make a long story short, I didn't get signed. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, you know, you don't really have a following like that. And I think that they don't want to just sign you. They just want you to write for their artists until you can build your name up. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'll do whatever. I'll be a janitor. I don't care. You know? So that being said, I didn't get the deal, and I was kind of crushed because it's like, bro, I wasted a whole year trying to get this deal and didn't get it. And
so this is social media era then, like
this like early, this MySpace. You know what I mean? This ain't
and
even.
So they
like
wanted you to have a following already then.
They wanted to prove. I guess they wanted to know that I was, you know, marketable, because the label was about to sign. I can't think of the name. Label about to sign another artist that was already famous. You know what I mean? And labels are about money. They're not about just talent. I didn't know that.
Yeah, obviously,
they're about money. And Jill Scott was signed to the label he was trying to give me a sign to. So it didn't happen, right? So I was kind of down one summer, and you know, I kind of like started losing contact with him. I'm like, being wasting all my time, bro. Like, I ain't gonna get no deal. And I got this book called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business, right? And I read the whole book in like 3 days, you know.
Wow.
And I went to this music workshop in Florida. I flew out there by myself, you know, and sat there at the workshop and just like understanding more about the business, you know. And I got more intrigued about the business side of it. I'm like, why didn't I get signed? Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, man, just do it yourself. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. You know what I mean? Keep doing this yourself. And then they're going to have to sign you.
Exactly.
You know, if you keep building your name. So I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just keep doing my stuff. So I started to do another project. And then by the time I'm like 26, you know what I mean? I started doing another project. And a bug just hit me. Like 26, 27, something like that. A bug just hit me that like, I wanted to start working with other artists. You know what I mean? And an artist had came to my studio one time, and in like 2 hours, it's like I changed her life. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand what I was doing. I wrote a song for her. I had got the beat. I had mixed it, and you know what I'm saying. This before I knew I was, you know, a producer of other artists or executive. You know, I told this particular artist what she should do and all this stuff. And she was just so excited. Like, oh my God, my first song, you know what I mean? And I love that feeling, you know what I'm saying? So I started to think like an executive. I started to feel like it feels so much better than just performing and to actually be able to help somebody else see their dream, you know? So I didn't give up on being an artist. I evolved into something else that I felt even more passionate about. And that's creating other brands and other artists. And you know what I'm saying? It did something else for me. It scratched another itch that I didn't know I had.
I like the way you put
that. I didn't even know I had the itch, you know what I'm saying? So I started, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. So you gave us a perfect build up to the story, how you made it from your hometown. Your mother had some connections in the business, but you still made it your way. And so you get to LA and you meet Wayne Williams, who introduces you to R.Kelly. Now tell us a little bit about how that process went.
Okay, so after I had started my label in my hometown, it was a successful run, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? I was from a small town, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's a ceiling, you know? But I put out successful projects with my artists, had an artist named Felicia Faye, Yvonne Kidam, Monique Tache, just in case they're watching, you know what I'm saying? I had developed their careers with my team. I had built a team around them. They put them on their first tour, their first music videos. It was an amazing feeling. So I knew I could do it, right? But I got to a point where it's like, it can't get no farther because I'm in this small city. So I just moved to LA. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, if somebody meet this guy, they're gonna rock with me because I'm passionate about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I've been passionate since I was a kid. I'm not no normal person. So I need to be where other aliens are. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm this alien around all these humans. I need to go to space.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So I know the aliens was in the LA, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood, right? So I moved out to LA with hardly no money, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, anybody that's gonna meet me is gonna fall in love, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm obsessed, you know, and I'm talented, you know what I mean? And at this time, I got shot on my cousin. I called my brother because my mom, as much as a musical genius she was, her little sister was also a musical genius. And my mom and my aunt, which is my mom's sister, were like twins. They lived like twins. Everything my mom did, my auntie did. They was like twins. So when my mom had me, my auntie had a son. And so we like 4 months apart. You know what I'm saying? And my mom and my aunt, since they're like twins, they both had sons almost at the same time. They raised us like we were brothers. So another side, to my life was, my cousin, my brother. His name is Calvin Tub Young Frazier, and he's a monster producer. You know what I mean? Yeah, crazy, just like out of this world musical producer, because we grew up doing the music together, and he took on the musical stuff, playing the guitar to another level. So he ended up producing Dietrich Haddon's song.
That's a big time artist there.
Yeah, and it got nominated for a Grammy.
Gospel artist.
So he moved out to Chino Hills, California. Moved out to LA, and I moved out to LA in Hollywood. I'm like, I got to be right there in the action.
Yes.
So I told a couple of my guys, I'm like, look, I'm gonna move to LA. I need 1 week on your couch. 1 week. That's it. I'm not about to stay with nobody. I don't care if I got to stay outside. I'm gonna stay on your couch for 1 week, and I'm gonna get lit. Trust me.
I like all this though, but you were pushing, man. You were living a life. Like
they're like, no, man. You can stay as long as you want. I said, no, bro. God told me to come out there. I'm gonna stay on your couch for 1 week. I got some money. I'm gonna get an apartment. I'm gonna grind and get my foot in the business. They were like, bro, you can whatever you want to do. So I did just that. I stayed at my cousin's house for a week, and then I stayed at my other cousin's house for a week. So 2 weeks in LA I was couch hopping. So then I got a job. Then I took my money and I got my own room. You know what I'm saying? We rent rooms and stuff. So I'm like, I'm good. Now I just gotta get up and work every day. So one day I'm at Universal Studios, and I'm working with all these different producers out there, these young producers. I'm getting contacts. I'm at Universal Studios, and I ran into Wayne Williams in Studio City. And unless you are obsessed with music and R&B, I was obsessed with music and R&B, and of course R.Kelly at the time was, still is, the best R&B artist to probably ever do it. You know what I mean? And at that time, I knew who everybody who worked with him was. So I know Wayne Williams from the story of him signing R.Kelly and all that. So I just see him walking down in Studio City in Universal Studios. I walked up to him like, "What's up, Wayne? How you doing? My name is Julius." He said, "How you know me?" I kind of exaggerated. I said, "Oh man, I think we worked together before, man.
Lord,
you work at I see you work at RCA, right?" Like, yeah. I said, "Oh, we didn't work together in some capacity." But I said, "Let me get your number, man, because I'm working with some artists and stuff like that, and I love for us to do some things." He's like, "Oh man, absolutely." gave me his number. I was like, yes, I got Wayne's number. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I said, man, I got to keep it real though. So like a week or so later, I called him. And I'm like, man, he ain't gonna answer the phone because this is big time record executive. You know what I mean? You know, senior vice president of A&R at RCA. He ain't gonna answer my phone. So I called him. He's like, man, what's up, man? I was waiting on you to call me, man. What's going on? I was like, hey, I got some producers. I got some songwriters. You need to check it out, man. You need to check it out. Like, it's out of this world. You know what I'm saying? He was like, when can we meet? I said, you tell me. Like, okay, let's meet today. I'm like, all right, bet.
Oh, Lord, I hope you were prepared.
I was not prepared.
Oh, my goodness.
So I called my guy who had a studio. I said, hey, man, I need to use your studio for free, bro. I got Wayne Williams. He wanted to meet with me. I got some tracks I want to play for him, but I don't even have that many tracks. I got like 10 tracks I know that are fire. But I need all the producers you know, and I need to get all the producers I know in one room. And real quick, I got to get their hottest stuff. I got to hear their hottest stuff. So when Wayne get here, we blow his mind. You know what I'm saying? He said, let me call some people right now. I said, okay, bet. I'm going to call some people too. So I called some people. I said, hey, man, I got the president of A&R at RCA about to meet with me at 7 o'clock. I need you to get your best beats, your best tracks, your best songs, and meet me at the studio at 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't there, don't talk to me no more, bro, about you want to grind. Be there. You know, oh, man, I'm going to be there, big bro. Be there. So, all right. So I had like 5 producers pull up, beat makers, and they had some guys pull up. We had like 10 producers in the studio. I don't know how, it was all God. So I get to the studio at 6 o'clock. I'm like, hey, y'all, play me y'all stuff, man, because I done hyped y'all up, and I never even heard y'all stuff.
Oh, my God, right? You better hope that stuff on point.
Exactly. So they all was good, you know what I mean? And I picked out certain tracks. I said, I like that one. We ain't gonna play that one. I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. We ain't gonna play that. You know, I'm doing the record executive thing, you know. So I put together a folder. Then Wayne pulls up. I play him all these tracks. I'm scared, like, he might think, like, bro, this guy don't have no ear. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like that.
And it's over, yes.
Right, like this is trash. I'm thinking he's gonna say that. So God told me, come on, bro, you already know, you know what you're doing, you know. So I press play. Man, he loved the stuff. He loved it. He was like, man, this is yeah. You know what I mean? So that built my credibility with him. Like, you really got an ear, because I didn't dislike none of the stuff I heard. You know what I'm saying? It was either great or good, you know. So he was like, yeah, I need more of that. I said, hey, I can do that. Let's talk about it. So I sat and talked with him. He said, who are these producers? I was like, man, you know, I'm managing a couple of them, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I wasn't managing them. I said, look, man. I said, look, Wayne, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I'm just trying to make it happen, bro. I will work for you for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, just put me in the game, bro. Like, I just want to work. Like, I don't care, bro, about nothing. He was like, man, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, we just signed a couple of artists at the RCA, and I'm gonna put you in the studio with them and see what you do. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and put some money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let's do it, bro.
So he did want to give you some money, even though you said for free, which is.
Yeah, he still hooked me up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
you know, but it wasn't like, he was just, you know, very intelligent to understand that if you got a young, hungry guy that's willing to do something like that and got an ear, it's just gonna make your job easier, because he was the one with the executive position at RCA. You know what I'm saying? So I came on like his personal assistant for A&R. You know what I'm saying? So I was the one that was actually going out there, and he was too, but going out there and doing a lot of leg work and meeting with producers and songwriters and engineers all across, you know, LA, you know, every day. That's my job, is to find hit records.
So the day that you get the opportunity to work with his biggest artist, R.Kelly.
Oh yeah.
How was that set up?
Man, that was crazy. So I had worked with Wayne. I had been working with Wayne as his A&R assistant, you know, for months, and we never talked about R.Kelly. We never talked about, like, man, I want to work with R.Kelly. That never was, because I got integrity, and I don't never I have manners as well. Like if somebody allowing you to do something, you just do it with the best of your ability, and you be grateful for the opportunity, and let everything else fall into place. So I never was doing that, you know. So, but I'm smart. I knew he, you know, that was his artist, you know. And we talked about a couple of things, you know, in conversation. Like he was like, "Yeah, the most talented person I ever worked with was R.Kelly." I said, "Oh, that's dope. Yeah, R.Kelly's a monster." You know what I'm saying? I never let him know how much of a fan I was. You know what I'm saying? Because just trying to play it cool, you know. So one day it was like 3 a.m, and I'm at my, you know, my apartment sleep. He was like, "Julius, man, what you doing, man?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm up, man. What's going on?" You know, I always try to keep an energy of I'm working or I'm busy or I'm alert, you know. I was knocked out.
Wipe the drool off the corner of your mouth.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm up. I'm up. I'm going to the studio right now. You know what I'm saying? You're like, look, man, it's late. I'm about to come pick you up, man. I got to introduce you to some people, man. You know, send me your address again. I'm like, all right, cool. Send me my address. And I didn't know what was going on, you know what I'm saying? So he picked me up and took me to Stay Social in Hollywood, you know, and R.Kelly was there at Cigar Lounge. And Wayne know I smoke cigars, so he set up like that. So I'm like a little starstruck. I'm like, bro, you gotta prepare me, bro. You know, I'm meeting R.Kelly tonight. So he sat down. I'm like shook. I'm shook for. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on, bro? Like, and he told R.Kelly, he said, "Hey, man, this is Julia. This is my guy. You know, all that music you've been doing for your album, all that music, all those tracks and all that stuff, those ideas, been coming from him." Wayne said
set you right up. He set me right up. Yes.
The Kels was like, what? He said, all that stuff you've been doing, all that stuff you've been excited about over the last few months, all that stuff you've been calling me about, you know what I'm saying? Excited about this new album. All of that came from him. So Kels was like, oh man, like, shoot, let's work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So Wayne was pushing me. He's like, look, man, I'm gonna keep it real. You know, I can't run around with Robert. I can't, you know, because it's just too much energy. You know what I mean? He's in the studio 3-4 days straight. I need to relax. You know what I'm saying? You can do that, but I've been doing that for so long with him. I would love to be able to work and not be so tired. You know what I'm saying? Not have to deal with the cigar smoke and studio. Because Wayne had done all of his projects, you know, from the time he got signed. He said, I would love for you to just take that weight off me and let me just help with the business side of things, you know.
Now, you know, he really trusts you when he said that.
Like, because me and Wayne had built a real, you know, big brother, little brother energy. You know what I'm saying? I met his wife, his son, you know, and and I've been blessed to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and when I'm building a relationship with somebody, I like for it to be a genuine relationship, not a transactional relationship. You know what I mean? So I really cared about Wayne because I was very delighted that he even saw my talent and became like a mentor. You know what I'm saying? So I was very, you know, just very loyal to whatever he said we need to do, let's do. And it was exciting. You know what I mean?
How long were you guys, how long were you working with him to the point where you got the opportunity where he wanted to invite you in to meet R.Kelly? Like how much time had went by?
Man, it wasn't that long. It was like, probably about 6 or 7 months, but we was together like every day in 6 or 7 months. Like we was together all the time. So we built a lot of closeness in that time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And we got common interests. You know, we got, you know, spiritual beliefs, God, and, you know, Christian foundation, stuff like that. And Wayne is a very charismatic person. Our sense of humor was kind of in alignment because he's a Midwest guy. You know what I mean? So we just built a good relationship, you know. And he introduced me to Kels, and we were working together. It wasn't even a year, you know what I'm saying? But he trusted me with that, you know. And he I guess he got good vibes with me. And And then he had said too, he said after I met R.Kelly, he was like, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Rob don't like being around new people like that. And he you know, he had a real good vibe, energy around you, man. I'm real, you know, Wayne said that, you know. I'm like, okay, cool. So check this out. So after the meeting with Kels, I was still working with whole other artists as well, you know, but of course that was R.Kelly, so like, I'm focused on that one. So I didn't hear from nobody for like 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear from Wayne. I'm like, man, did I mess up? You know what I mean?
The thoughts going through your head now, yes.
All the thoughts going through my head. I'm like, oh man, they ain't messing with me, man. Like, I must did something wrong, or you know what I'm saying?
One of my songs didn't bump or something.
Yeah, like they probably like, oh, they don't want, we got somebody else. You know, I'm thinking all that little goofy stuff. Then no, I'm about to just call Wayne, bro. I'm about to call Wayne because I never want to get on his nerves either because he had a lot of stuff going on with the label. So I just start calling Wayne like, "What's going on? How you doing, man?" He's like, "What's up? What you been on?" I'm like, I'm at the crib. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "I introduced you to Rob. When last time you talked to Rob?" I said, "I ain't talked to him since the day we met him."
Right.
He said, "Man, go down to the studio, man." You know what I'm saying? Like, I introduced y'all so y'all can do this album. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, look, man.
I didn't know I could just hit R.Kelly up like that. Yeah.
He said, you ain't got his number? I said, no. So he sent me his number. Like, man, call Rob, man. We need to get this album done. I was like, okay, where's the studio at? You're like, it's a record plant. Go down there. I said, all right. So I'm thinking like, I'm gonna just pop up in the studio. Like, no. I'm like, let me go on down there. So I took a train down there, you know what I mean, to the record plant. And it was the middle of the day. And there was a whole bunch of, I'm just keep it real, a whole bunch of Chicago niggas.
Okay.
Can I say that on this show?
It's uncensored. Go ahead.
Uncensored. I get down to the studio, there's a whole bunch of Chicago OG niggas down there. You know what I'm saying? Like just standing around and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm here to work with Mr. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
right. You feeling like a dork. You're like, I'll just die here to do work.
Exactly. They're like, what's up, Joe? I don't know you, Joe. Who are you, Joe? I'm like, my name is Julius Darrington. I work with Wayne. I'm here to work with. They said, man, Mr. Kelly ain't tell me nothing about nobody coming down here, man. Like, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, can you leave Mr. Kelly my number? He's like, man, who sent you down here? I said, Wayne sent me down here. He's like, Wayne know better than that, man. Like, you know, you can't just pop up the studio, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Wayne ain't, man, look, man, you just go to the crib, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be popping up down here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Were they joking with you or?
No, they were serious.
Oh, okay.
You can't just pop up and say you're working with R.Kelly and people down there, security people ain't know who I was, you know. But it was just doing their job, you know what I mean? So I'm like feeling so defeated. I'm like, oh, I'm goofy. Oh. So I take this long ride home, right? And I get this phone call on the way home. It was R.Kelly. I'm like, hey man, where you at, man? I'm like, I'm on my way home. Who is this? Like, this Rob, man. They said you came down to the studio. I said, yeah. This Kels? He said, yeah, man, it's Kels, man. They said you came to the studio. Where you at? I said, well, they told me to leave. He said, man, fuck that, man. Come down to the studio, man. We gotta get this album done. Click.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Hung up on me.
Right. That's the first time you didn't mind turning back around, huh?
Exactly. So I turned around, went down there, and it was me and him in the studio. I'm playing and stuff. We, doing stuff together. And he took me on the road, and we was together every day ever since.
Now, see, that's been the rumors that he stays in the studio forever. What's his process in the studio? Explain to us how R.Kelly maneuvers when he's making those hits.
He just a workhorse. Like, he get in the studio, and he would literally record 50 songs in one day. Like, if he can.
50 songs?
He would, I'm telling you, it's in his work ethic in the studio and his passion and drive in the studio is so insane. I don't think no other artist in history of music can do what he does, you know, because he's not a person who need a whole bunch of songwriters to come in and like that. He literally go in a booth and just write a song, like off the top of freestyle. You know, he don't write nothing down or nothing. It's just come to his head, and he get on his phone, he records some ideas, he go in the booth and record a whole song, top to bottom, and then go to the next song, and then record a whole song every day. You know what I'm saying? So working with him, it took me my expectations, you know, to another level, even with other artists. I'm like, look, I've seen some things y'all have never seen as far as the approach to getting records done. You got to get it done. You can't come to the studio and just sit around and just come up with one idea and leave. You should be going to the studio to do a whole body of work every time. You should be challenging yourself. Every time you get in the studio, you should be trying to do your best. And that's what I saw with him. You know what I'm saying? The process was just, you know, and then he keeps the studio real hot. So it's like when you in there, you know, you in there.
Oh my God. Like, does he take his shirt off, or he just in there?
No, just be sweating. You know, everybody be sweating because his philosophy was the voice is more got more moisture in your voice when there's humidity and warm, you know, your voice is better. So that was his philosophy. His studio was always super hot. You know what I mean?
Wow. I don't know if I ever heard that.
Well, ain't nobody been in the studio with him like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we got you on here. Yeah.
Exactly.
I would have been passed out, and I'm gonna just be honest with you.
I mean, it wasn't like too hot, but it was very, even if it's the summertime, he got the heat on because it helped his voice, you know.
Now for the people who don't, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, for the people who don't know, you helped put out the record I Admit It.
Yeah.
And so we all know the allegations that R.Kelly is facing. So how did that record get in your hands, and what exactly did you help him with when making that record? Because I Admit It basically is just him stating that he's not a perfect human. He is human. And it just goes over some mistakes he made in his life. But just give us a little bit of the background
history
of that record.
Okay.
History,
so I A&R'd that song, which means, you know, the track came from me, you know what I'm saying? But he came up with the whole idea, of course, you know. But I was there to, you know, assist with the whole process of getting it out, you know, getting, you know, mixed and, you know, getting the producer together, production agreement, you know, all that around actually making it something that the world can have, right? So it started off as just like a song. It started off as just like a 2-minute song, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, it wasn't a 19-minute song. It was like 2 minutes, he let me hear it. I'm like, man, keep going. You know what I'm saying? He's like, keep going. I'm like, man, like, keep going, bro. It's more you gotta tell, I go to the studio next day, he got another 2 minutes on there. I'm like, man, keep going. He said, man, I don't want. I'm like, man, just keep going. You know, and he was like, man, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna just keep till I get all this out of my system.
Really? You know, he never said this is too much. It's y'all got 19 minutes.
Nope. He kept going. The next thing I know, it turned to like a 12-minute song. I said, man, you got anything else to say? Like, man, I'm gonna do some more. You know, and then he did some more. He let me hear a couple parts of it. He was, you know, crying. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, you know, I ain't never said a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? And you know, it turned out to be a 19-minute song. You know what I'm saying? That he invited all type of people to the studio to hear it, and everybody heard it. People was emotional. People was like, man, you really, you know, touched us with your, you know, honesty and your vulnerability in this project, right? So that's when we got inspired to like, bro, let's just drop it, bro. Like, we don't gotta, the label not go get behind this record. The label was already acting funny with us because of all of the allegations that had started. So I was like, look, bro, let's just put it out and you know, give it to the people who wants to hear your response in regards to everything you're going through. So we did it, and then the next day, it just went crazy, like viral. Every news station talk about it, Billboard, CNN, and my name attached to it. People hitting me up like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? So mixed reviews. Of course, had a lot of people talking negative, but then his fans loved it though. That's all we cared about, was the fact that his fans respected that, you know. And in regards to like even all these allegations and stuff with him, you know, of course, it's very unfortunate. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm praying for him. You know, he's been nothing but good to me.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you is like, what can you
Yeah.
tell us as somebody who's been with him? What would you want us to know about Robert Kelly that we may not know on a personal level?
Just a very good guy, very fun-loving guy. You know, I can only articulate from the standpoint of what I've experienced with him. You know what I mean? The life of the party, you know what I'm saying? Very humble, you know what I'm saying? You know, take a shirt off his back for you, you know what I mean? And just a all around 100% artist. Like there's some people who are artistic and have other things they do, you know what I'm saying? He's 100% an artist, a painter, you know what I mean, of music, you know? And that's all he think about and do, you know what I'm saying, is music. He don't do nothing else, you know, and play basketball. And I think that over the years of his life, you know what I mean, that, you know, a lot of people has got around him, taken advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of different ways, and took advantage of his openness. You know what I mean? Because a lot of artists are very sensitive people. So you can go to a person who's that level of artist and have a sad story like, oh, my rent ain't been paid. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Rob, can you help me? And it would. I've seen that, you know, and it would touch him. You know, like, how much you got? You know, I can pay half of it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen stuff like that. You know, people just come to him and thinking they answer. You know, so I think that he's over the years, you know, put himself in a lot of positions with a lot of people. You know, to just be around. You know, and things can happen when you open yourself up to people who may have bad intentions, you know, and try to take advantage of you. So, like I said, I've been around a lot of people. He's one of the, from my experience, one of the best brothers I've met. You know what I mean? And especially in this business. This business is full of a lot of phony people, a lot of people who only want to be around you when to benefit them. You know, who wouldn't even work with you if you didn't have a resume. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm praying for him. I'm praying for, for the truth to come out and for him to be delivered from, you know, this situation, you know, and anything that he's dealing with in his own life, you know what I mean? As a brother, I've always been a praying person, you know, so I don't judge nobody for anything they're going through, you know, especially for people that I have a relationship with, because we all have our storm, you know what I mean, that we can face in life. So, you know, I'm definitely praying for him, you know.
Well, let me ask you this, Julius, because this has been a big topic in blogs and on shows. Should we know, or should we separate artists from the person, or the music from the person, the work from the person? Because with several other people that have come across allegations now, people are, you know, they get bullied when they say, I still support this person. People feel like you shouldn't, but should we still be able to enjoy a person's art?
Yeah. I think people should be able to enjoy truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you are a person who believes in truth and you want truth, you shouldn't be so quick to believe anything unless you have done your own soul searching in regards to that situation and found truth in it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times this cancel culture is just about people saying stuff and don't nobody even know if it's true or not. So we shouldn't be so quick to judge without knowing the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you love someone for their art and they're famous, you got to understand that they are a target. You know what I'm saying? They're a target right now on social media age for anybody to say anything. Anybody can say anything about anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think people should enjoy people's art and their work. And if anything come out about them or rumors come out, personally, I think people should seek truth. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that truth is for any individual person, they should stand on that truth. So I can't tell somebody, you should still listen to his music. If that's their truth, that they don't want to listen to his music anymore, and they believe the stuff, that's on them. But I'm a person who believe in, the process and truth, and I think that I'm not going to allow personally people to just throw things out there about anybody, and I just take it at face value. There's always 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to every story. So I think we should all just enjoy our lives and enjoy what we enjoy. And when we see things like this, we should pray. We should pray for people, and we should be patient. Because right now it's very dangerous. Anybody can say anything, and they have a platform to say it. So it's a very dangerous world we live in.
Did you say dangerous?
Dangerous.
This is silly. Look, I'm gonna call the first. I should have told you to put your phone on do not disturb, but yeah. we'll be good. I know you're busy, but we'll call the first half of this show story time with Julius. So since we're on the back end, I got 2 games I'm gonna play with you before we get out of here. Okay. Now, so the first one I play a lot of times is called quotes. I have a couple of things you said, not me now, so don't get upset with me, that you said. I want you to hear them and then explain more about what you meant. Are you ready?
All right. Yep.
Okay. The first one, don't try to chase people down. What did you mean when you said that?
When I say that?
Don't worry about it. You said don't try to chase people down.
Okay. I would think if I said that, I think I was mean that, understand your own value, you know what I'm saying? And your value system and your love for yourself will attract whatever God got in store for your destiny and your purpose. So don't go out your way trying to chase people, and convince people, that are maybe not in line with your destiny, you know what I'm saying? Or your path towards your fullness of your greatness or your journey, you know what I mean? So I'm not a person at this stage of my life where I'm just chasing nobody no more. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to convince nobody that I'm great no more. I'm not trying to convince somebody. Huh?
I said, you don't made it now. I'm jealous.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm, I'm on a journey still. I'm still trying to get to the next level. People can say I made it because I'm in the business now, but this is a journey, you know what I'm saying, that I'm on, and I know my value now. So I'm not going to chase people to try to convince them of my worth. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have to chase Nike or Apple. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to chase it. You ain't got to be like, and they don't got to chase you. Oh,
right. That's right.
Buy me. I'm Apple. No, it is what it is, and we know what it's worth. So that's what I feel like about myself. I know what I am. I know what it's worth. The people who value me will see it and know what it's worth.
Okay, I like how you put that. Next quote. Here it is. Look, you got to explain this one now because I was wondering about you. I'm gonna hide my stuff.
Okay.
You put, I'm a glorified thief. Now you got to explain that, brother.
A glorified thief because I'm a steal whatever I have to steal in regards to other people's mindsets, other people's successful habits that I need to steal, put it on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody I study that's doing something successful or doing something that's fruitful for them, and they have a way that they're going about it, I'm gonna steal that and I'm gonna put it on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's I should say glorified. It's a positive thing.
Okay, you know I was wondering what was going on.
No, I'm a glorified thief because I study people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying, Steve Stout, Steve Jobs, you know what I'm saying, Elon Musk, Puff Daddy, you know what I'm saying? Just met him in the studio a couple weeks ago, you know what I mean? Got an honor to be in with him. I see people like that and I look and study them, and if there's something about some type of a habit that they have that's working, I may steal it and put it on myself. Okay,
I like that. Next quote, last quote. I don't lie. I can't lie to myself.
Yeah, I can't lie to myself. I can't it means self-explanatory, but it means that I'm living in the fullness of self-love and truth. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people lie to themselves because they don't love themselves. They lie to themselves about their life because they have not found that self-worth where it's okay to be truthful with yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be in truth. So I'm not in a stage of my life where I'm ever going to lie to myself, you know, and that's what, being raised, in the church and stuff like that. You know, I find myself, not to say I'm blaming the church, you know what I mean, at all, because I've learned so much great things being in church, but I find myself lying to myself about myself, you know what I'm saying? You know, and not understanding that I should embrace who I am, you know what I mean? And not try to live based on other people's expectations of me. I should live based on what makes me happy, what makes me feel like myself. You know what I mean? So that's what I meant by that.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And that was the game quotes. Now, what I have next.
That was nerve-wracking.
Look, we do surprise some people on here once in a while.
I'm thinking like, man, I hope I ain't said anything crazy.
No, that was pretty calm compared to some of the stuff that I've had to quote from people.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna do a bit of a rapid fire topic with you. I'm just gonna give you different little topics, may give you just one word. I want you to just give me a quick summation, or explain it really quick what you can, okay?
Okay.
So this is it. So I want you to explain a little bit about the A&R, because I had artist, producer, King James Worthy. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's been on the show.
Okay.
And he comes from the standpoint of saying that, you know, there was a time in music, and even now, where A&R is kind of lacking. Artists aren't really aren't really talked. I mean, I guess the way you would say it, they're not really, what an artist is not worked on. You're not working with them to kind of let them grow. They already have to be already made. So
right.
What's your thoughts on that and how A&R is these days in the industry?
That's absolutely true. That's what has made me feel more marketable in regards to what I do, because people are not taking out the time to develop artists no more. You know, they're not taking out the time to develop projects and records, you know, top to bottom, you know, from an artist who don't have the money or who not famous already, you know. A&R used to be, it's titled, A&R stands for artist and repertoire. So the A&R person will be the person who finds the talent and brings them to the label so they can be developed. You know, I'm a person right now that I have a passion for that whole process. You know, so they're truth in what they're saying, because labels now don't want to develop artists. They just want to sign artists who are already famous or already got 200,000 followers, you know? So I'm a person who wants to develop them from top to bottom.
Thank God, because that's probably why we got so many artists out that sound the same and shit like that.
Yeah, because there's no person who's saying no. You know what I'm saying? There should be an A&R person should be in the studio with artists saying no. It's like, look, you have a unique sound. You have a unique value. Let's find a way to articulate that in musical form. You know, let's find a way to do something different. That's what A&R used to be. Now A&R is just, let's put the song out. They got 300,000 followers. Okay, let's sign them because they got the followers. Or let's put them out because they got a buzz right now. It don't matter what they stand for, no matter what the sound is. Let's just put it out because the numbers look right. And that's not what A&R was about. A&R was a passionate, A&R was it's like producer. It's like you're a producer. So you don't produce just because the numbers are there. You produce from the ground up to create something. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Oh, hell yeah, I miss those days. I mean,
yeah.
So this is actually a good segue into my next question, because Method Man had stated that, you know, when he was out there rapping in the heyday of his time, I mean, they made some money, but it was nowhere compared to the money these rappers are making now. And it does seem like even from the early 2000s and 90s, when you look at every rapper, you may not even have heard of the rapper, and they'll have a picture up of themselves on a private jet. They'll have all these jewels, and we know now we're not as silly as we used to be. We know rappers can rent and everything, but why does that seem to be a surplus of money given out to these newer artists these days? Is it all stunning and we just think they got it like that, or is that really going on?
Well, it all depends on the artist's deal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
back then artists they had certain deals that blocked
Mm-hmm.
them from getting to the bag. You know what I'm saying? So the record industry, the business model is so much different now than it is today. Actually, it was easier to monetize the music back then because to hear an album, you had to go buy the album.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, to go see a show, you had to go buy a ticket. You know what I mean? You couldn't just go on YouTube and watch a concert. So artists was making more money for their music back then. You know what I'm saying? The actual music, but they wasn't making as much money for their brand back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now endorsement deals and everything like that is going on to where artists can monetize more of their brand versus just record sales. Because now it's not just about record sales, but back then it was. The artist, if they had a hot single, sometimes you had to go buy the whole album just to hear that single. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't hear it unless you bought it. You know what I'm saying? Or you dubbed the tape from your cousin.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't mind, try to keep the phone where we can't see your hand, because like
I'm trying to. I had to put my phone up.
Okay, thank you.
That cool?
Yeah, because it'll mess up our editing.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's all about the branding, and I'm glad you brought up our R.Kelly. He's a real artist, because that's my next thing. Is I look at people like, rest in peace, DMX. He was a real artist.
Yeah.
I mean, through and through. But when I look at some of these newbies out here on the scene, I mean, tell me if my perspective is wrong, but do they come in really focused on just the fame and the branding instead of actually wanting to be creators? Because I mean, I'm always having a debate with people come on this show about ghostwriters, and people can't really say they the best rappers. They have ghostwriters and stuff like that. But not to confuse you, but I just want to know, does it seem like the newer people aren't coming in with the same work ethic? They're not true artists, and they just focus on the bull crap? Because that's what it looks like to me.
There's a lot of true artists, but the companies are not pushing the true artists as much as they're pushing the gimmick artists. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, there's artists I know that are modern day princes, and I'm talking about there's artists who play every instrument. There's artists who I know who are totally musically inclined that can't break through because their music is, I guess, is not as cookie cutter or microwave as a lot of these artists that are just coming out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about that is the record companies make more money if they have more of a stake in the art. You know what I mean? So if you don't write your own songs, the companies make more money by putting you with songwriters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't, if the more dependent you are of them, the more they make from the artist. Now, if you are 100%er, which means you write, produce, arrange, mix all your stuff, you may not be as valuable to them if they can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
There's artists now that without their labels, they won't be able to come out with a hit. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't write in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a catch-22 for real.
The catch-22. Well, there's a lot of great artists, even that's out. You know, but of course, we missed the Lauryn Hills. You know what I'm saying, of the world. You know what I mean? We missed that era where it was like we knew talent-wise this was something that we would never hear again. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I go crazy hearing a lot of these songs that they sound alike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even with my label, like I got an artist right now that I'm developing named Cocaine Poppy. You know what I'm saying? the thing that attracted me to him, that made me sign him, was he don't sound like nobody. He don't look like nobody. You know what I mean? His energy, his approach to his music and life is not like nobody. You know, so that unique value is what attracts me to make me want to invest in something like that. You know, because I think it's missing.
Thank you for that. I appreciate everything you said right there on that topic. A couple more things, and then I'm gonna get you out of here. I know you just signed with Iman Shumpert, who is a basketball player, has played with LeBron James. His wife is a beautiful actress and a singer. So how do you think he's gonna be able to move over into music? I know his name is out there. Some people know he can rap. I've seen him on BET in the Cypher. Has that been an easy transition for him to make?
Well, nothing of value is easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was brought on to work with Iman. Like I said, I met Iman after BET Cypher. Actually, when I was with King Los, that's another artist that I manage. I was brought on to Iman to do some A&R stuff, you know, and we put out a song called Seance that's out right now. And Tiana Taylor directed the video, you know, and I've, you know, been involved with Iman, you know, now is, you know, it's like a, you know, brother, you know what I'm saying? But talent wise, he got it. You know what I mean? Talent wise, he's, you know, he's not like the basketball player who can rap. He's literally an artist, you know what I mean, who actually stumbled upon basketball, you know? So I think, you know, it's going to be based on his music and how it's marketed. You know, I think that it's very, very, very possible for people to really embrace his new brand as an artist versus him just as a basketball player, because he got it. He's just as much of an artist as he was a player, you know what I'm saying? Or is a player. So I don't have no type of, I don't believe in no type of superstition with coming people. Oh, he's a basketball player, he can't. I don't believe in that. You know, he may be the first one to actually create a whole another life as a career as a rapper. You know what I mean?
Who we actually respect as a rapper. Like these aren't Shaq rhymes.
Yeah, I ain't talking about like you know, Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Shaq, he did his thing though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. It was
but we knew it was, but Shaq was the entertainer. We knew it was Shaq just having fun. You know, I think Iman could be respected as a true hip hop artist. You know what I mean? Because he just got the talent. You know, so you know,
that's it.
I want everybody to embrace that, because when he drops his album, I want people to just listen to it, you know, with open ears, you know, and I think it's definitely going to be successful.
Now you're working with another big artist, King Los. I know his name has been out there in a lot of different things, but something that really stuck out to me is you said that he's one of the best rappers right now. Now that's a big compliment. So what does he possess that made you make such a big statement?
He's probably the best rapper in the world.
The best rapper in the world?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you saying that because you work with him, or you legit
everybody says that about Los.
Really?
Lupe Fiasco just said that a little while ago, that nobody can rap better than King Los. Look it up.
It seemed like he just came out the blue, and maybe I'm wrong, but I saw he's connected
to Puff
Daddy.
He's been around for years. A lot of the raps that Puff, you've heard Puff rap, Los wrote those raps.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Los was signed to Bad Boy and ended up doing a lot of writing for P. Diddy. That's why I was able to get in the room with Puff Daddy a couple weeks ago, because he reached out, you know, to get Los back up there. You know what I'm saying? So as far as rapping skills, he just did a rap battle in Atlanta against the best freestyle rapper in the world. Well, other than Los, right? And destroyed him. And that's not even his world. Freestyle rap is not even his world. His world is actually in the industry, writing and doing actual albums. But he just jumped into the freestyle world and battled the best freestyle rapper in the game in Atlanta on pay-per-view and just destroyed it. You know what I mean? Lyrical genius. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I actually saw that. I just thought about it. I actually saw that.
He's a lyrical he's a lyrical phenomenon. Like it's one thing to rap, it's nothing to have #1 hits. You know what I mean? So that's what people are going to see in this stage of Lowe's career is his ability to put together actual hit records. Because he's so good that he actually was his own worst enemy. Because it was so beyond everyday ears to hear somebody that lyrically inclined. So this new project is more about, he got a project coming out that's I helped I was involved with, called an Internet Boyfriend, that's actually an R&B type of energy. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like letting people see his more sensitive side, see his more his more passionate side, But then he got another project that's done with DJ Drama, that's straight bars. Like when it comes to rapping, nobody. It's Kendrick Lamar, all those guys were inspired by Los.
That says a lot.
And they will tell you that.
I believe that. Well, shouts out to King Los. I mean, I knew it was something serious when I seen Puff Daddy on Instagram right under his picture. I miss you. So
you
I was
what?
like,
I post on Instagram.
I saw Puff Daddy under one of his pictures, and he said, "I miss you. See you soon." So
Yeah.
I knew he was well connected in the game or whatnot.
Puff know what's up. You know what I mean? When Puff wants somebody to help him with his, with that, he called one person. You know what I mean? Why didn't say he called one person, but he definitely go call Los.
Now, before you get out of here, I gotta ask you, because I know you have smoked. I don't know if he smoked with you, but I know you've been beside Ron Isley while you had a smoke and a drink. So what's your connection with Ron, and how was it being around the legend, Derry Ron Isley?
Well, I was Ron Isley doing an album right now, you know what I'm saying? And I was brought in to, lend the ear and bring some ideas. I can say that, you know what I mean? Bring some ideas to the project. And being around Ron Isley, it kind of reminded me when I first was around Kev. You know what I mean? This is like the older Kev. You know what I'm saying? So Ron, his beautiful wife, very, very good people, you know what I mean? My first time being around Ron Isley was actually working in the studio with him. So the session was, Ron Isley is coming to meet me to work. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I'm in the studio with a lot of people. It was Ronald Isley and me. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Just going over a lot of ideas and direction for the project. And he loved a lot of my ideas, and we've been building a relationship ever since. Shout out to Greg Walker, Ronald's manager, who pulled me into that situation. You know what I mean? And that's just been an honor to be involved with that. You know what I mean? To be able to be that respected, where someone says, I'm gonna get you in the studio with Julius because, he got some ideas. He's been in the studio with, the best R&B artist of all time, which is R.Kelly, and I know he got some ideas, because we seen R.Kelly use him for his ear. So it just makes sense, and that's been an honor. I'm still working with him, you know what I mean? And it just feels good, for these legendary people to want to be around me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you putting your name in that legendary people hat, and I know that's what you'll be called soon. Julius Darrington, thank you so much. I mean, you got a name that sounds like you're somebody. I like the whole thing. Your mama set you up well. Yeah, I like that. Julius Darrington. It sounds like you don't play. So
Julius Darrington, see, like that's how it is. Yeah, I appreciate it.
No problem. I had a great time talking to you. Thank you for inspiring my audience, telling us about your journey, how you used your faith and all the values your mom instilled in you to crack the door open for yourself in the music business and all your wonderful experiences. Oh, no, before you go, can anybody beat R.Kelly in a versus? Because somebody said the only person that has a chance is Mariah Carey. He's not even Mariah Carey.
No.
Okay, no.
Because he got too many songs of his own. And too many hit songs he wrote for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just too much. He didn't write just singles. He wrote whole albums for people, And if you went from 1990 to like 2000, you know, 16, 15, you know what I'm saying,
It's
17.
over.
It's just too much. It's just too
Oh,
much. And then you got to
got the
consider the
game.
fact that all those songs came from him. It wasn't Mariah Carey had a lot of people come in and help write and all kind of stuff. No knock to her, but you
That's
put R. Kelly,
true.
in the studio by himself, and something will happen. You know what I mean? So it's not really a fair thing to put anybody up against him on those, you know, as far as records. Like that
No, it's
one,
not.
nobody can do that. Not even Michael Jackson, because R. Kelly can play some hits that he wrote for Michael Jackson.
That's crazy. Julius, what do you have coming up next that we should be checking out or getting ready to check out?
Things that I can say, everybody support my label, Audio Dream Records. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got a couple artists signed. Shout out to Cocaine Poppy and Sway. You know, artists I'm developing. Shout out to my whole Audio Dream team. You know what I'm saying? The staff, the family that's been working day and night to try to make this thing happen. You know, that's my main baby right now. You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff I'm doing right now on film as well. I can't speak on that because, you know, film is very sensitive. I got, you know, some stuff something very, very major I'm doing, possibly executive producing something in Hollywood, you know, film, you know. So it's just so many things that God's been doing for me, opening up for me. Anybody who want to support me, trust me, I embrace it, you know. But my main thing right now for the next 10 years of my life is establishing my companies, you know, establishing, you know, my entrepreneurship, you know, so I can pass that down to my, you know, to my daughters.
Yes, I love that, brother. And I wish you all the success. You very kind and welcoming, like I said at the beginning show, and you for the people. So I wish you the best, and we're gonna stay connected, and hopefully I get to see you at our roll it out, our cannabis festival that's coming up in November, and our culture festival. We got one in Jamaica. So you know, let's stay connected. And
absolutely.
Yes, thank you guys for watching. And we have a show this Sunday with a boxer, rapper, the smart guy. See you guys next time. See you later, sir.
God bless.